Hey, you're listening to The Fatboy Show on RX Radio. Hope you had a wonderful weekend, and I gotta say, this brand new week is off to a good start. What with the amazing music that we're bringing to you. Oh, I'm enjoying it so much myself. You wanna know what else I like to enjoy? Oh, that's a hot, steaming cup of coffee. Coffee. Yes, that's right, coffee. I love coffee. I am a coffee person, and coffee being one of the major cash crops in Uganda, which ironically, for all of the complaints we have about colonialism, they are the ones who introduced it here, and they, realized Uganda would be a suitable place to grow this crop and to export it to their own markets at home. And so they brought coffee, they brought tea, they brought cotton, and turned Uganda into a hub of cash crop output, coffee being the leading one. And for decades, we've been earning millions, tens of millions of dollars annually, and coffee revenue has been responsible for much of what we earn as a country. And for the farmers themselves that grow the coffee, many have grown very wealthy as a result. Or maybe I should revise that. I think the coffee traders have become wealthy as a result. The farmers themselves, the people who actually plant these crops, are currently not really enjoying a lot of profits due to the fact that they have to sell their coffee fairly cheaply to the traders, the middlemen, who then buy all the coffee and then export it to the markets in Europe, where they make a lot more than the farmers. But then who do the traders sell it to? Well, they sell it to the Nescafes and the Starbuckses of this world, who then sell it for about 100 times more than the actual farmers are paid for the same amount of coffee, thereby raking billions of dollars as a result. Of course, that's very, very unfair, and our leaders have been complaining for years about being able to have direct access to those markets where we can sell to them our refined and processed coffee products rather than the raw coffee beans, for which we earn relatively little in comparison. But that's a discussion for another day. Let's talk about coffee just as a beverage and the need for Ugandans to drink coffee. After all, why rely so much on external or foreign markets while ignoring our own domestic market? How about if we can encourage Ugandans to drink more coffee? Wouldn't that help to make the coffee growers in Uganda earn more money here at home? I think that sounds like a plan. Other people also think it's a good plan, which is why billions of shillings have been invested in trying to teach Ugandans how to drink coffee. Wait, what? Billions of shillings, you say? Oh yes, it turns out that the office of the Prime Minister decided to channel 9.6 billion shillings towards a project to, quote, teach Ugandans how to drink coffee. Of course, it sounds like an exorbitant amount of money, because it is. Now, the Speaker of Parliament, Anita Among, has ordered for an independent probe into that 9.6 billion shillings that was spent by the Office of the Prime Minister to teach Ugandans how to drink coffee. Because if you don't spend 9.6 billion shillings, how are Ugandans to know how to drink coffee? Simply pouring hot water into a cup and putting in some coffee in there and making them drink it. Apparently that costs billions of shillings. Sounds fishy, which is why the Speaker of Parliament has ordered a probe into all of it. Now, it is worth noting that the Office of the Prime Minister awarded this 9.6 billion shillings contract to an organization called Inspire Africa Limited to carry out 4 activities to promote and encourage consumption of coffee countrywide. Accordingly, that 9.6 billion shillings, 3.8 billion shillings was spent on training youths in coffee production, 1.9 billion was spent on consumption of coffee and putting up coffee shops, and 2.6 billion shillings was spent on capacity building, while 1.2 billion shillings was spent on administration. Of course, you've got to pay useless people to sit and write documents, don't you? However, according to the Auditor General's report, although the contract provided for the establishment of coffee shops in places like Arua, Mbale, Lira, Gulu, and Tororo, physical inspections have revealed that except for Gulu, the coffee shops were either non-existent or were non-operational in areas where they were supposed to be placed. Now, this revelation has irked the members of parliament who ordered for investigations into the matter. Now, the Speaker, Anita Among, has said that the way the money was spent was questionable. Well, you don't say. And she warns that if such wasteful expenditure is not punished, that the government may soon ask for funds to teach Ugandans how to use condoms, at this rate. I mean, if everyone's in on the grift, why not? However, the third Deputy Prime Minister, Rukia Adama has rejected the nomenclature given to this project, saying that the name that was given for drinking coffee was instead for popularizing coffee intake and not to teach people how to drink coffee. So in other words, the way it's being phrased, teach Ugandans how to drink coffee, sends the wrong message. The third deputy prime minister is saying no. In fact, what they were actually doing was trying to promote coffee. So it was money spent on promoting coffee consumption. Well, still, 9.6 billion shillings seems like a heck of a lot of money. And where did that money go to? Did it go to media? How much of that money went to media, for example? Because typically, let's say, if it's Ministry of Health trying to encourage people to wear condoms or to get vaccinated or whatnot, a lot of that money gets channeled into advertising, media, and awareness creation efforts, right? And here at RX Radio, we have benefited from some of those funds that are used by the health ministry to raise awareness about various health concerns. But when it came to coffee, I don't know, man. I didn't see that money. Did anyone else see that money? Let me ask my friends at the other radio stations and see if they benefited. I'm guessing they'll say no. In other words, there's a high likelihood that all of that money was just squandered, the whole 9.6 billion shillings of it. Well, seeing as the speaker is now calling for an independent probe, let us see if some corruption might be unearthed. And even if they are successful in unearthing any corruption, what's gonna happen? This is Uganda. Nothing will happen at all, and it'll be business as usual. Now I feel like drinking a cup of coffee myself. And no, you didn't have to pay me to teach me how to do it. Keep listening to The Fatboy Show on your number one station, RX Radio.
RX Radio.